Obstacles and decorations. Things you should know.
Welcome fellow Clash addicts, this is Merlin of Indigo Dragons. Today we're going to do a video about decorations and obstacles, and I'm going to tell you some things about those that I don't think a lot of people know. If you do know everything I tell you in this video, then please do give yourself a big pat on the back. If you don't, then I hope you find it useful and learn something. While we're talking about that, I'm just going to play a replay of a ʍɛʌṛ strategy I've been using with the Ground Warden and a Ground Warden walk with healers. I'll post a link at the top of the screen on this video so you can jump to that video as well if you're interested. We'll just leave that playing in the background while we talk about decorations and obstacles. So I said I'd tell you some things you don't know. We're going to answer some questions about whether obstacles and decorations can be used to prevent you dropping troops or to funneling troops. I've seen different people with different ideas about whether you can do that. So we're going to answer that question. What about the old Barbarian statue in the builder base? What happens if you get rid of it? Do you get loads of loot? Loads of gems? Is there any reason to keep it? Can you buy it back? We're going to be answering these questions. And is there anything special about the old Barbarian statue? Well, keep watching to find out. So, decorations and obstacles, what are they? Well, decorations are things like flags, torches, and statues that we might buy. We can move them around in the base freely. It doesn't cost any time for the builder to build them. Some of them we have to pay gems for, some of them we get from events or packages or deals in the shop. So there are some rare ones. I'll do another video on rare decorations and rare obstacles and special event obstacles. I'll do that shortly. So if you want to see that, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button so you can see that when it comes out. Obstacles, what are they? Well, they're things like trees, logs, rocks, grass. Things that get in the way when you want to build a building, except for grass. Grass is removed automatically if you build a building. Talk about that. They're things that spawn automatically in your buildings, in your village. So trees will grow over time. You get new trees popping up. You remove them, and you get some gems if you remove them. You also get experience points. Now you get 3 experience points if you remove an obstacle. There's a larger clump of trees called a grove in the builder base, and the old Barbarian statue. If you get rid of those, you get 7 experience points, and the gem box you get 5. On average, you get 2 gems when you get rid of an obstacle, but there is a special sequence which is 604, 513, 200, 510, 340, 050, 10, and that's a sequence of the number of gems you get when you remove an obstacle. It will always go through that sequence. So if you ever have a bad day and you get rid of 2 obstacles and you get 0 gems both times, then you know the next one is going to be 5 gems. So just remember that. You start off with 40 obstacles in your base. You can have a maximum of 45. So you won't get any new obstacles if you've got more than 45 in your base. So you need to keep removing them. There is a special challenge we'll have a look at called Nice and Tidy. And if you get rid of those obstacles, then that counts towards that challenge. You can get 50, 10 or 500 gems. So some of the decorations we've got Ancient Skull, Statue of ʍɛʌṛ, the Mighty Statue and the Mighty Hero I haven't got yet because you have to pay gems for them. The flags, well, you pay gold for those. I can never understand people that have a whole base covered in flags. You can drop troops on flags. So you can have a whole clump of flags and it doesn't stop people dropping troops. I think it's just a case of people showing off how much loot they've had. They can buy all these flags. So the purpose of decorations then is really just to look nice, make your base look nice. But there was one interesting thing. Recently I got this dragon statue as part of a deal. It will become rare, I guess, because not everyone will have bought one. You can select things you bought like that and stash it, and you'll find it in your shop, so you can put it back so you don't lose it and you don't have to pay for it again. Now, one interesting thing about this dragon is when I did a video about it, but I actually thought that because this is a 3x3 statue, that was going to leave a hole in my base. So I thought I'd have to move it around. But actually, if you go into the base editor and have a look, you can see the foundation where the statue is. And I've tested this. You cannot drop troops there. So even though it doesn't have like a buffer zone shown around it, actually within that space where the statue sits, you cannot drop troops. So this is not a hole in my base. People can't get into that square area there. Well, they could if I accidentally move a wall, of course, but they can't drop troops there and get into my base. So I'm going to leave that there now. Very useful to use the base editor to show you where your walls are. Notice that I've packed in defense buildings around that statue, so it doesn't have a buffer zone. I can't leave a gap around there, so I've tightly packed all the defenses around it. And in the space editor, if you select in the walls, you can see the buffer zone marked out. I'm just going to move that elixir collector there so we close up that gap. Oops, didn't mean to do that. But yeah, so there's no harm in having statues in your base as long as there's no gaps next to the statue. That's what you've got to watch out for. Things like flags in your base, people can drop troops. If you fill up your base with flags, you don't see that foundation in the wall editor mode, that means you can drop troops. So just remember that. Now, we'll come out of there and have a look at the base. So the other thing you can get is special event obstacles. So at Christmas we get a Christmas tree. They've been doing that since 2012, different tree every year. And Halloween, you get Halloween obstacles. So we can see a few of the ones I've got here. There's a Christmas tree from 2018, that's last year's tree. And if you select it, there's electricity goes around, lights up the bulbs, and then there's a conductor on the top. And I like to call it the Tesla tree. It's a bit like a Tesla, or lightning coming off it at the top. There's also the 6th anniversary cake there, and the 7th anniversary birthday surprise. And the Halloween obstacle this year, it's got a little black crow that you can see moving on it. And if we select the 7th birthday surprise, it makes a little noise when it pops up. And I'll record another video soon about the special event obstacles and rare obstacles and rare decorations that you see in some people's bases. So if you're interested in that, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button so that you're aware when that video comes out. We'll have a look at some other people's bases that have got some rare and interesting things in them. So next we're going to talk about the builder base and the Barbarian statue. So I've removed the Barbarian statue, but if you've got one in your base, you'll find that you've got tall grass growing next to it. Well, I actually removed the Barbarian statue. I was very disappointed to find out I didn't get loads of loot or gems. In fact, it's just like a normal obstacle. You just get a few gems, whatever's in that sequence from 0 to 6. And a few experience points. I think you got 7 experience points for that. Then I thought you could buy it back, but the actual one that you can get in the shop is called Ancient Barbarian Statue, not Old Barbarian Statue. It's actually an extra one. Looks very similar. The grass is a bit different around it, but both of these spawn grass. So I'm going to do a video where I buy back this Ancient Barbarian statue, and I'm going to grow some grass and in my base and use that to write some words in there. So I'll cover that, and maybe I'll do like a time lapse of the grass growing, so you can see what it does. But it spawns grass, so it was worth keeping, and there's very little point getting rid of it. So if you've got one in your base, don't get rid of it. Maybe try using a shovel of obstacles to move it around and grow grass all over your base. If that's what you want to do. Well, thanks for watching it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like if you did, and leave any comments. Thank you very much. Bye bye.